Omega Bend. Here's where the world comes to an end. Floods all spring, and the snagged roots of what was once a yellow pine growing too close to the river. Only now the river has gone back to its banks. Now the river has gone back to its banks, and the sun wants you to believe it's July. If the river snatched the silver star I've worn for years now, snatched the star when my body fell back into clear water thawed from bitter root snow, whose sin was that? I hope a boulder wears it now, that star, or that it washes up on the beach of fine sand, glittering alive with flecks of mica. The children, still wet from the river, rolled themselves in hot sand that afternoon, as in powdered sugar or powdered gold, and flung it into the sun all afternoon in bright streamers of joy. The river sand, the sun, wanted to eat us all with joy that day, where rattlesnakes slither through star thistle, where red-tailed hawks snatch those diamondbacks and teach them to fly, where ospreys snatch rainbow trout and teach them to fly, where every morning wind blows upstream and evening blows down, where that afternoon truly loved the gold of wheat fields, the gold pastures of cheatgrass and sweetgrass growing through the pumice of an ancient volcano, where the sharpest possible sliver of the new moon sliced over the deck of this house, built safe far above the Clearwater River on a cliff, and the wind in my face felt like sea wind, as on the deck of a ship on which someday we will sail down this river all the way to the Pacific to watch the stars at the end of the world go out. Hi. I'm Derick. I hate to follow an act like that. Man, who made me go last? Katie Ford, everybody. You guys are great. Sean Thomas planned it that way. I know how he is. Ilya said he liked the poems of Alaska Solitude and the love poems, so I thought I would read some of those, if I can find them. Here's a poem of Alaska Solitude. Prophet. When snow falls thick among bare aspens, I will wade down into this vale and begin to make my soul. When midnight dawns frozen, with no moon to silver the night, I will begin with words made visible, frozen words rising on no wind among the black, blind eyes of bare aspen, rising into midnight sky with none to hear except sleeping ravens, and the world will grow rife with strange green fire. That's the Northern Lights. Anybody been to Alaska? Yeah, hands. Yeah, you have. Where'd you go?
Well, I was on a cruise.
Oh, cool. So you went all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great way to come and see. You should all come see someday. It's pretty cool up there. It does get cold. Sometimes it gets below minus 40, and I call that scientific experiment cold. This poem's called Persephone. You guys know who Persephone is? Yeah, who's Persephone? Yeah, she's the goddess who Hades fell in love with and dragged down to the underworld, right? And so she managed to get out of there, but she made one small mistake. She ate something while she was there. You know what she ate? Pomegranate. How many? No, in Alaska, she ate the whole thing. So it's a myth to explain the seasons. This poem's called Persephone. My mistress' bright eyes are nearsighted, and more green sea than earth some days, given her mood and the weather. She won't wear her glasses, silly girl. and so must squint to see far away. I've seen her squint to see far away before, but she didn't say what she saw. I'm a blur to her, which is what maybe she loves, never close enough to see or to smell the breath that reeks from me. Once, twice, we hugged, but we never kissed. I guess she isn't really my mistress. Yet I love her bookish ways. She'd rather kiss Sartre and all her dead romantic darlings. Her eyes can see into the deep heart of things. Her legs are strong enough for climbing me, her ankles thick as young aspens, as dancers. She has tea and cigarettes for breakfast. When she speaks, her voice is all Brooklyn and Queens, and so sweetly endeared, my hungry ear feasts. She doesn't eat much, but her belly seems supple enough. Her breasts, what I've seen of them when she bends, pale and quick as minnows. I wonder what her nipples most resemble. Her hips are wide, salty as the ocean where she thrills to swim. Sharp hips I'm dying to float upon, or sink under and drown in. Her belly button is pierced deep and sports a stainless steel ring. She has 3 tattoos and fingernails torn ragged enough to scratch my back bloody in ecstasy. We don't have long enough to live. I've longed to tuck her dark hair back behind her ear, then lick her there on that little bone at the base of her skull. Her lips full and chapped. I want to bite them. I've dreamed her tongue inside me, dreamed our teeth clicking together in the dark room our mouths make. Her teeth are bad, yes, bad like mine. Kind of hot, wasn't it? That made me blush a little. Look, Sean Thomas is blushing too. I only have one more poem for you today. Unfortunately, it's 55 sections long. It shouldn't take more than like 3 hours or so. The last poem in my book is titled Mirabelle, which is the name of my daughter, and I just want to read a few of these for you. She just turned 5 before I came, so I'm under strict orders to bring something cool back from Detroit. Mirabelle, then. And now she's coming out from her mother's body, all bloody and blue. Mother heaving daughter out, blue and bloody, and then time bends, so forever happens in a second, while whole weeks disappear like late spring snow under longer sun. Each month slumping into itself until the trees have leaves again. Her azure eyes open, and she gazes up at me, bloody and trapped in time. Who are you, strange creature? She wonders, and sleeps on my arm those melting days. She grows, and so does my arm to hold her steady. Her sleep, when she sleeps, is perfect. She sleeps the spring sprawled there on my arm, and time bends with her dreaming until summer comes and the garden blooms. She stretches to pull new peas from the vine. Me, I'm learning to crawl again, hands and knees sinking into loam since she blooms out, becoming human from the belly first, her feet still frightening blue, my feet in miniature, her mother torn and bleeding, and her still bloody on mother's belly, already reaching toward the nipple where milk is already ready for her to drink to grow. I see she is woman too, daughter, mother torn and bleeding. Time bends, her wet hair still blooming out until I don't know who is being born.